What up, Robert Reese? Robert Reese with Hot Facts. That's my man right there. Hey, he always be hitting us up with the news and the latest. And he keeps everybody informed about the gig industry, like all of the different gig tubers, everything that's going on with everybody. He's really up to speed on a lot of things. So if you don't want to channel hop a whole lot, just look at his channel for about 10, 15 minutes, kind of look at a few of his videos, and all of a sudden, yep, you'll realize what everything was going on in the gig industry. He be on top of it, man.
And only affecting a few places around the country. I was so wrong, in fact, that this is one of the most common things that I hear from drivers now. Turns out, just because I don't see it in my market doesn't mean that it's not actually a thing. Over the last few weeks, I've reached out to several people who are affected by this problem, listened to their stories, and learned how bad this really is. The common theme I'm hearing is order volume is substantially down. Meanwhile, these new drivers are using 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 phones each. Now, it's not necessarily nefarious for a driver to have 2 phones. For example, if you dabble in both rideshare and delivery, I can understand having the rideshare apps on one phone and the delivery apps on another. But if you're running DoorDash or Spark on more than one phone, that means that at least one of those accounts doesn't belong to you. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Whether it's socially acceptable to say it or not, I'm gonna say it. The people who are doing this are generally immigrants working in teams. Now, I get that at least one of those accounts doesn't belong to you. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Whether it's socially acceptable to say it or not, I'm gonna say it. The people who are doing this are generally immigrants working in teams. Now, I get the argument that they're just trying to make an income for themselves, but this video isn't for them. This video is for the legitimate drivers who took the necessary steps to be on these apps. After all, this problem is costing legitimate drivers enormous amounts of money in lost revenue.
All right, now, Zach drives fast. I know you like to go ahead and give people copyright strikes whenever they use your thing, but this is protected under the Fair Use Act, primarily because you are giving misinformation. It's incorrect information, and you just try to sing out people by the way that they look, by way of their ethnicity. Now, there's been people like myself, and I gotta say it again, the DoorDash revolution and other people out there, and we have been speaking about this. We have gone into how many American drivers actually are using signal jammers. You can go to my clips or do whatever, or you know what, I'll put it up here. There you go. There it is there. Americans using signal jamming and having multiple phones, like the dashing trader, not the dashing trader. Right now, No Bumper Gig TV says he has 2 or 3 accounts. DoorDash. Gig Drive and Thrive uses his wife's account, and he has another account. I can keep going on and on and on. Side Hustle Addict has gone through at least 4 different accounts. I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. Sin City Deliveries came on my show with the pyramid and said he uses his brother's phone also. So yes, like you said, that means that there is another account that is not theirs. Okay, now, just like immigrants or whatever else you may say, let's go ahead and correct you on this, because this is a bogus statement, and this means that, like I said, American drivers will become prejudiced. I don't just say this stuff for no reason. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true what you guys are doing. You cannot say that. Excuse my voice. You cannot say that at all. There's a lot of drivers here who can't pass background checks, and the only job that they see that they can do is driving. So they're renting out accounts. They're getting accounts from spouses and friends and neighbors and things like that because they don't even want to do the job. It's not just immigrants. There's a bunch of them. A lot of people that you speak to and have been on panels with use 2 phones. And not to do, well, Walmart Spark on this and another one on that, and the ones who are doing it all on one thing, they're immigrants. I just named a bunch of American drivers right now. Can you name me one immigrant that you know that's doing that? I just named you a whole bunch of American drivers who openly on camera display it. Can you name one immigrant driver? Now, we all do know that the immigrant drivers are out there. Remember, the 7% rule that's keeping the immigrants from getting their green cards while they are here to go do the work that they are here to go do while they work. A lot of those people are renting out accounts. But there's a bunch of Americans that are doing that. You cannot just say who it is wherever you are, because now you're saying wherever you are, that's who it is. You know how I got real whiff of this? I did a study and I did an article about what they're doing in England and in the UK about how they have gangs that take over areas and they're using multiple devices to block out other drivers so that they cannot come in. That's how I went ahead and got all my information. Then with the help of the DoorDash revolution, then with the help of going on and see that it's actually happening here and we're doing the research, you're just going off of saying people that you have spoken with, but we don't know who they are. We have the actual receipts of how it's going down. That's why with the news channel, that's what I am, I go ahead and put that stuff out. Just like I said, look at what's happening in Florida. How many of you guys think those are immigrants just by them being Spanish? No one wanted to answer that question. You know why? Because you just can't say it's immigrants doing this. There's tons of Americans doing this, and I dare you to try to give me a copyright strike on this. This is using it in fair use, because I am clearing up misinformation that you are putting out there for viewers, customers, drivers, merchants, everyone out there. You are singling out people who don't look like they could be American, but we are a melting pot. So you are being prejudiced from people who you think are not from here. That is something that we have to wipe out, and that information is not tolerated here in the gig community. You have a great day. For the rest of you guys, hey, don't be like that. Do what you gotta do. Hot Facts is out. If you would like to know more about what really goes on in the gig economy, do exactly what the next clip says.